Is this an intro or is this live? Is this an intro or is this live? I don't know. And we're live. We're live. I have had quite the week this week, and I didn't have time to do well. Shit, let's put it that way. So I had a great idea for an intro, but we are going to be pushing that till next next month. Oh, baby Jesus. It has been quite the week. Just a lot of stuff going on the backside. You know how it goes. The life gets in the way and work and all that fun, fancy things. But just like to welcome everybody. Apologize for being a couple minutes late. I was trying to do an intro. Just I had a loose song a while ago that I done did, dude. And I went, I gotta do something. So I threw it up on the computer and well, it has still another 5.5 minutes of rendering. So I'm just gonna cancel that. Right. Beep, bye. And it's gone. And we'll just get out of that. Don't worry about saving it. Okay. So, anyways, welcome to another edition of the live from the Looney Bin. This is quite the day that we got going on. I am super excited. We have Scott and Steph of the Adventure Cooperative going to come on here in a little bit, and we're going to get all kinds of updated from them on all their bus adventures and them rolling around Baja down there in Mexico. They were like, "Hey, when are we going on to do a sound check today? Because we want to go get tacos." I was a little jealous. I really got to tell you, I was jealous. Tacos sound phenomenal right now. I see a lot of the family in the chitty chats, and hello to everybody. Let's see. Ooh, there was somebody new up there, I think. Um, Got to go back up. Matt Kelly, what's going on, brother? Mike, we got Small Man. Are you Small Man? Are you causing troubles in there again? Critter, meow, meow. Tenny, Parallel Camper. What is going on, everyone? So tonight, what we're going to do is again, I'm so like I usually have notes everywhere and they're on my other screen, and I have like this long itinerary I send over to Corey, and it's like we have a schedule and everything that we like to do. But tonight, I'm just like free forming it. And after a week like this, friends, cheers to all of you. We are going to oh, open up the one and only beer that I had left in the refrigerator after this week. So, cheers to everybody. Delicious. So, Corey, I guess I'm gonna have to put my notes over here so I don't cover up the chitty chats going on. But so tonight, one of the questions that I really want to address as the summer is getting kind of closer and spring is right around the corner. And here in the Pacific Northwest, we have had some phenomenal weather this week. Like phenomenal. Snow levels have been rising up, and there's something that I'm looking forward to do on a video that I'm just waiting for those levels to get a little bit higher so I can go out and film this for you guys. I'm super excited about this video. Oh my gosh. I don't want to give it away, but there's not a video on the YouTubers that I have found on this particular topic that is good. Um and I don't mean that in an egotistic kind of dick way. I just am like on this particular topic, you'll go watch a video and it's a dude on his motorcycle with zero commentary, just writing, for 45 minutes. It's that kind of stuff. Or a family. I just wanted to get my kids cameras and this is the video that they made, which is a beautiful family video. But for what I was trying to do, I was just like, this might be a good video after all to do. But I do these deep dives and it's just like I have two locations that I'm doing and I do all this stuff and I'm just like, oh Lord, I do a deep dive on this one location and it's like an hour and a half, and then all of a sudden it's like I want to go to the other location and it's like 3 hours of just trying to script and history and just get all this stuff ready for you guys. But I'm super stoked to bring it to you guys. I say you guys a lot tonight, and I do that a lot when I'm a little stressed out. So we're gonna calm down. Kickoff is gone. We're getting in the groove. The offense is rolling. So one of the questions as I got squirreled there, you know, one of the things that I want to do and ask all of you guys for the comment section is what are some of the most common mistakes that you can make while preparing for moto camp season? So I actually was thinking about this quite heavily, and oddly enough, Lone Rider, bink, they threw out a very similar question this week, and I kind of giggled over it. I was like, well, I'm going to bring this topic up anyways, but people will probably think I got it from the Lone Rider email, but neither here or there. It's a fantastic topic for us to chit chat about. So I actually went out not too long ago when I filmed the Nestucca video and I did some camping. And once it started getting dark, I was looking for my headlamp and I totally forgot lighting any of it. The only thing I had was a lighter for lighting my stove and the old trusty torch on the telephone. That was it. And luckily it was cold out that night. So when the sun went down anyways, it's not like you wanted to hang out anyways. There it was super wet out. The wood was super wet, so you couldn't really have a fire. And I was ill prepared to even to start a fire on top of that. But it was like I'm getting in my sleeping bag and I'm going to sleep. So that was kind of one of those things that I admittedly kind of messed up on. But I brought this up as a lot of you know, we have this creator roundtable, and it's myself, Tall Man, my ADV 360, Critter Meow Meow is in there with Owen Lush. And we kind of spitball ideas around and we just talk about channels and what do you think about this idea? And it's phenomenal. But I kind of brought this topic up yesterday about things. And one of the things that Matt said was like, prepare yourself, like go in your backyard and just set everything up like you're going to go camping. And that I think is a fantastic, fantastic idea to do that. So, just getting your tent out, because sometimes what happens is you might not have your tent completely dry and you threw it away for the summer up in your shelf and then you get it out and it needs to be washed, right? Or I forgot about these holes in it in the bottom, or where did the tent stakes go anyways, right? Or there is so many things to just prepare. So when you do go out and moto camp, you're going to be able to maximize your experience away, right? Rather you're doing just an overnighter or you're doing like an epic trip, just being prepared is paramount, of course. So what is some of the stuff that you guys do to prepare for moto camping? I would really love to get your guys's intake and input on how you guys prepare, because there's a lot of things that I do. It's kind of like clockwork. I get so used to packing things a very specific way. It is almost easier when you get in that kind of mindset to overlook things, because you're just, this goes in this bag, this goes in that bag, it goes here, this goes there. It's great. Okay, you're done. And you get out there and again, you forget your headlamp. Hey, Papa Cakes is here. What's up, Pops? Um, hey, Debbie. There's another new lady here. Awesome sauce. But we're gonna bring up this weird guy right here. We're gonna get up because I got a couple questions for this guy. What'd you do? Yeah. Hi, Corey.
What up? Hey.
Did I catch you off guard there? I was trying. Hey, so how many of you guys went and actually watched Corey's live last week where he made the world I forget the name of the dish, but I just know it was absolutely delicious.
Egg roll in a bowl, award winning.
Well, I am going to 1,000% say award winning. It is so freaking delicious. And if you watched his live, he was talking about like these judges that get lost, find yourself, that kept coming back to just like, oh, that was really good. I want to come back. I need another sample. I just, I got to cleanse the plate and take another bite. I was 100% one of those judges. Like I came back several times, just like, "Ooh, that's delicious coming back." So how do you
Right?
I think it went really well, man. And I'm gonna be straight up with you. I think that your idea of a live cooking show for moto camping is going to be freaking huge. I I like to my core, I feel that because it's not only moto campers, but it speaks to like hikers. You know, it
Mhm.
speaks to people in the sprinter vans and RVs and buses. You know, it just speaks to so many different levels of people on how to cook awesome foods on very minimal ingredients.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's kind of the idea is that it's not. I don't want to make it too wide open, but it will definitely cross genres, and we'll see where it goes and how it happens. And but I'm
Yeah,
excited.
dude.
It's something I haven't seen even a live cooking show like that. But to make it even more specific that it's motor camping, I I hope it does what I'm thinking it will do.
Well, like I said, man, I really think it's going to go huge. And one of the things that I really like is you and I don't live close, but we don't live far at the same time.
No,
We're about what,
no,
3 hours, 3.5 hours ish.
yeah.
So it's kind of one of those things where it's like, we need to go camp more. Corey, what's dinner? What's for dinner tonight?
Yeah,
I freaking love it,
no.
dude. So freaking rad sauce.
We
So
definitely
anything
have to
else
find
going on
a
with you?
middle ground. No, it's
Oh yeah.
just like you were talking about earlier, just start going through that gear and pack it up. I am
Yeah.
gonna do I signed up for Critters mini event up in Vancouver Island, so that will be
Good
the
for you,
first
man.
official camping trip. So I'll have to get my gear
Fantastic,
tested
dude.
out and ready to go before that.
Super sweet, dude. I am so excited for you to go up there. I haven't figured out if I can make it yet or not. I've got a bunch of stuff on the docket, and so
Yeah.
I really got to pick and choose on what's going on with me this summer. Um, but yeah, so with the moto camping, I got to turn my phone back on because sorry, I kept my notes this time. Yeah. But yeah, you know, one of the things too, we got to keep up on the comments here on the people who are kind of throwing some suggestions out. But one of the other things is, does your stove work? Nothing worse than getting out and like your stove just not working. You know, I don't know how many
Is
people have, you know, the jet boil and you're like, oh, I got the button. I'm absolutely fine. And you don't bring a lighter or something, you know, and then you go out to
yeah, that
cook and it's
piezo
just,
fails and
yeah, you're just like,
or
oh
you get
no.
no click, nothing, the spring's gone. And
Yeah,
honestly, and
it's
I was
horrible.
actually nervous for the live stream. I had tested my stove before the live stream and I had my backup stove just in case. I was like,
Just in case.
just in case.
Oh my God. Okay. So if you guys want to watch like a 5 seconds of a video of mine, go watch the Destucca video. I don't know the time frame, but there's like the whole intro is just quiet. I just get out of the tent and I go over and I start cooking, well, not cooking, but like heating up water, right? But again, it's like 25 degrees out when I was doing this whole thing. So it's cold. So I'm like, you can totally see this, dude. I turn my stove on, holding it in my hand and it's just like usually it's boom, and I use a lighter anymore, so I tilt it sideways, and I light it. It's done, right? So
Right.
I have this going, and all this gas is coming out, right? And I'm like, and my lighter's not coming on. I'm like, the hell? Come on! And finally it
Uh,
lights, and it goes whoosh.
whoosh.
There's this there's huge cloud that goes up, and if you watch the video, you can just see this massive light go, and then it just goes down into a normal thing. But I was just like. You don't hear it because I'm just like in my head, I'm like, holy shit. I
Yeah.
think I like literally had some hair was gone on my hand and stuff. It was hilarious. I giggled about that all day. I was just like, it was engulfed, man. So funny. So,
Yeah,
but
that's
yeah,
crazy.
make sure your stove works there, kids. So, who else has a good idea? Because jet boils suck. I'm gonna throw that up there. Thanks, tall man. Appreciates it. Hello, Valkyrie. Good evening to you. I hope you're feeling well tonight. Yes. So we got a lot of stuff going on down here, but yeah. So we're talking about the most common moto mistake or moto camping mistakes we make. And I also see in the green room we have a couple people back there staring down at the floor, it looks like. You can't see it, but I can see them, and all they're doing is like looking down. So I don't know if Brendy is doing something cute or if they're like looking at notes down there
I
or
think
whatever.
I think they're having
but
a prayer session.
I do. And now they're all like already getting ready to go, Yeah. It's pretty good. So, Corey, we'll be back with you here soon, my friend. Without further ado, friends, I'd like to introduce, as most people already know, Scott and Steph of the Adventure Cooperative. Bam. Whoops, I hit the wrong button. Now, bam. Hey guys, how you doing tonight?
Hello.
Greetings.
Greetings. So, the number one question right meow. Where the heck are you guys?
San Felipe, Baja, California, Mexico.
There we go.
So we usually are.
I'm a little jelly about that. Yeah.
Which,
You guys
for
seem to be
those
down
who
in that
don't
area a lot.
know, yeah, we spend a lot of time down here. So we're like 2 hours south of the California border.
Oh, that's not so bad.
Nope.
You're kind of tickling the state line there. So you guys have been down there for how many months now?
Well, November, December, January, February.
So 4 full months.
4 full months, yeah.
Wow. So how far south have you guys gone? Because are you guys now kind of loosely working your way north?
Yeah, we're going to stay where we are here for another month and then start making our way north. And we went as far south as Loretto with the bus. And on the bikes, we went down to Agua Verde, which is just a little bit further south.
Yeah.
Nice. Fantastic. And you guys have been putting out a ton of content. And as I said earlier, and Scott, your rebuttal to this was dumb, so don't say it again. All right, because everybody in the comment section will be on my side. Just saying. But you guys have been putting out a lot of content, and I have been a little behind on your guys' stuff. Just with life going on. I see you guys posting all these new videos. I'm like, oh man, I got to get into that. But I will be catching up here probably in about 2 weeks, realistically. Hey there.
All good.
So
just for stats sake, I almost counted to see how many we had because I figured that was going to come up, but it's over 30 anyway.
Over 30?
Yeah.
30 videos since we've been down here?
Yeah. This year's Mexico series is over. We got 30 videos in it, I think.
Dang, man, that is some content and a half. That's pretty awesome. So what's been some of your favorite highlights down there? Not really in the videos, but as you guys get down there and you're kind of just rolling around and riding and doing your thing. And there's dogs in there too, right?
Yeah, the dog situation has been unique this year. Another thing that was completely unique this year is we led our first RV tour down the Baja. We had amazing friends who were somewhat influenced by our videos over the last couple of years and having come down as well themselves, they wanted to learn and explore more. And we did a convoy of motorhomes down the peninsula, and we got to be guides. And Stephanie got to showcase her amazing Spanish skills. And it was a lot of fun, actually. It was something I could actually see doing as a sideline.
Yeah, that's pretty cool that people wanted to come down and get inspired by you guys. Corey, bring that back up real quick, if you don't mind. So as a creator, and I use that term extremely loose, and I think a lot of people who actually edit, they kind of know the time that goes in. What is your average length of time that you spend editing? Because I know both of you guys do it, if I remember right, or like one of you do it, but I don't know. Explain your process there.
Steph helps with all the technical side of it, and then she helps me do all the voiceovers. But as far as I don't know, picking the music and chopping it up and mixing it around like Legos, that's mostly on me.
Yeah.
And the beauty of it is because we work in the summer and this is our time off. It gives me a bit of time to do a lot of that. But it drives her nuts how much time I devote to doing the videos. But it used to take me like a long time to do a video, and I've kind of streamlined it down to 3 or 4 hours of video.
Wow. Okay. That's a good workflow, honestly, if you're spending that much time together. I tend to take a lot longer than that because I suck. So
Well, I don't think I've gotten the actual way the videos go together is getting more interesting, I think, and better. But sometimes the actual content doesn't have like a really coherent story. It's just more like what we're doing, like there's souvenirs and memories, like a photo album or scrapbook. But it's really cool to include all the people that are with us. So it's like a great souvenir for them.
yeah, that's actually one of the things that I do like about those videos is just the random, not really the random people because but just having new faces pop on and new kind of adventures with them. It's always pretty cool. Like last year you had, I forget her name, but the girl that was going and she crashed like a lot.
Rosemary.
Yeah.
Like Rosemary became very famous in our videos just because she has an amazing outlook and attitude, and she's always super positive. And she actually asked for her own crash reel, and we gave it to her. Nice. They were back again, and they were part of our crew that did the ride down the peninsula in our motorhomes. It's really funny is the video that's going to come out on Wednesday will showcase some of the shenanigans that happened amongst us on their way back up the peninsula. So might have involved broken trailer parts. So
yeah, dude. Yeah, that's pretty awesome, man. So you have 30 videos, 31's about to drop. How many more do you think you're going to be putting out before you leave Mexico?
Probably about 10. Maybe.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe 6.
Actually, yeah, maybe 4 or 5. I don't know. But
it depends. Like, it's sometimes hard to know, like, because like our video that drops Wednesday is a whole bunch of stuff all crammed into one video, or sometimes you have less stuff crammed into making one whole video or whatever. So
we've actually been really cool since getting back into town. We thought we would have like a dead spot after all of our friends left, and we've been bumping into like people like crazy and going for rides already. There's a gentleman that we met on the beach yesterday who's Argentinian, and well, he actually lives in California, but we just took him randomly for a ride the other day and videoed that. So we'll edit that up for him because he's actually now a fan of the channel. Actually, another really funny story was we arrived. We'd been here like not even like a few hours, and our friend Wes was driving around the campsite, and a guy walked up to him and he goes, I've been Google searching rides around San Felipe, and there's these creators, and they created their like 5 favorite rides. And I've sent him a note, but I don't know how to get a hold of him. Do you know this guy? And Wes just goes, yeah, he's right over there. It was like a classic quintessential moment of being a YouTuber. And what's really cool is we got up for 2 rides with him, and he has my name too. So Scott will be out bombing around on our bikes here in a video coming up in a week or so. So.
All the Scots. I love it.
Yeah. And then even the guy we took out riding the other day, we were just walking the dogs on the beach, and his wife's like, hey, do you like motorcycle, or are you on YouTube or something like that? And they had seen our videos. It was just like so funny.
So we're not famous anywhere. We're not famous anywhere but in San Felipe, apparently. So
I mean, that's all right. Seems to be one of your favorite places anyways.
Yeah, we really love it here.
But we have been recognized a few times up and down the peninsula. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been a really interesting. Again, it's content is specific to Baja. People who are in Baja are going to look that stuff up. And yeah, we've had a few moments where we got over to just check on someone and say hi, and they're like, "Hey, Scott, Steph, how are you doing?" We're like, "Pardon?" Yeah, it's pretty cool. So
No, that's pretty cool when you get recognized for sure. So I guess when you guys first got down there, you had a bit of a Baja adventure again with the race and being on the pit crew.
Yep.
So that was a planned thing to come back to that, wasn't it?
actually, Guy Laycraft, who we normally chase for, didn't race this year at all.
Okay.
And so we didn't actually get officially on the chase team, but because we know almost all the 60 over guys, we hang out with them quite a bit. And Manny, a really, really fun dude. He's just, they call him Squirrel. And so we hung out with them a lot. Then we went and cheered him on. We went out in the desert to make sure he got on the bike, and it turned into a total disaster for him. The bike stopped working and he got stuck in a sand dune, and he got rescued out of there. And yeah, it was a pretty funny story.
Oh man. Well, you're talking about sand. I did see a comment earlier. I don't know who it was. I'd have to go back up, but somebody said, how deep is the sand down there anyways? So like, what's your average ride? Is it like an inch, 5 inches, 12
It
feet?
really varies. It varies quite dramatically. And if you know the route, you can get away with it. And it's like maybe an inch deep. The problem is it quite quickly can go sideways, and you can find yourself in like 8, 9, 10 inches of sand and smoking the clutch out of your brand new bike or whatever. We bumped into a lot of people this year when we were down south, or even as these lots of moto groups. There were so many motorcycles on the peninsula we passed this time. And a whole bunch of them all tried to go to the same mission. And every single trip out there on an ADV bike resulted in a blown clutch or a broken collarbone or something. It was just a total nightmare. And in answer to Critter's question, it was the bus gets spotted. We actually had a guy comment on one of our videos saying, "Saw you coming through Moulahay. I was on the KLR." And we're like, "Yeah, I saw the KLR." And then we actually bumped into him later at an RV park we stopped at. And same thing, we walked up. He goes, "Hey, Scott, Steph, how you doing?" And we're like, "Cool, good to see you again." So yeah, it does stand out. It never meant to be a Bob Marley tribute bus, but
it's got some Rasta vibes going
Rasta
on.
vibes right now until it goes to the next level.
But it's funny too, because we were camping further south, and the owner of the campground here was on a Jeep tour with his buddies, and he was up on this hilltop, and we're in this town, and it's right in the middle of the Baja. It's called San Ignacio, and it's a beautiful oasis town. Like, there's a lagoon and a ton of palm trees, and he's way up there enjoying the view, and apparently he spotted the bus amongst all the palm trees, and he drove down and came by to say hi to Scott. I was out on the paddleboard.
Yeah, he wanted to see us both, but she was there at the time. But it was a really hilarious moment.
Yeah.
That this gentleman that we stay in his camp most of the winter, he's gotten to know us well enough that he wanted to come and say hello. So yeah.
That's pretty. So yeah, that's beautiful though.
It seems to be getting spotted more and more by more and more people. So
yeah. Right.
If they know, but the flip side is the bus also blends in with school buses down here. So most of the school buses are bicolor or tricolor, and they're yellow and red or yellow and green or yellow and blue or whatever. So,
and we have a new person on here, and I agree that the bike community everywhere, ADV wise, whatever, but in Baja, it's really awesome. Love the bike community in Baja. I can't agree more. We had some really great interactions with riders down here, sharing information and talking about what we've been through and what we've done. Even yesterday, we had a bunch of guys from Colorado just come to check out the camp. They didn't end up staying here, but we had a really awesome conversation comparing notes on what routes are fun and which ones are a pain in the ass and stuff like that.
And then
it's good to have that local knowledge of you guys,
And then
Absolutely.
The other morning, we wake up, and I don't know if you saw the post on Facebook, and Norden, Sterling, and Eva were our neighbors here. So
I was gonna bring that up here a little bit. So hey, we're here. What was that like? You guys just kind of walk out and you're like, hey, wait a minute, we know you guys.
It was funny. We were in the bus, and like I could hear something. They were talking about someone posted something. I guess he forgot his ATM, his bank card in an ATM or something. And we'd seen the bikes in town, and then we saw the bikes when we arrived to camp, but they'd already gone to bed or it was dark, whatever. And then I peek out the curtains and I'm like, Starling's outside. I knew like right away. It was so funny.
Yeah.
And so we came out and said hello.
We had a really good chat with them as well. And yeah.
And they got
That's
covered
pretty
in dog
cool.
kisses too and stuff. So it was fun.
It's
Oh,
it's
of
one of those funny
course.
things. Baja's a really big place, but it ain't a big place. You know, it's one of those things.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. That's pretty cool. So you guys kind of hung out with them for a little while and had some good chit chats.
Yeah, they were
pretty
just finishing
legit
up
humans.
their like 2-week tour in Baja or something. So they were headed home
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, they have a really big event happening here really shortly.
in a month.
Yeah, in a month. So.
is that the one at their place or down in Baja?
Yeah, their
it's-
place.
Yeah, their place in
Yeah.
Bisbee, Arizona. They
Yeah.
do a motorcycle rally there. I think it's 100 people, something like that.
Yeah. I've seen those videos of it last year. Looks pretty cool. Wouldn't mind getting down and riding in that area
Yeah.
for sure. So when you guys are gearing up to go for a ride in the morning, right? And you're throwing on all your gear and everything and you're getting your cameras ready. Do you guys I think we kind of talked a little bit about it. Like some of it is just we're just going to go out and ride and we're just going to film and we're just going to see what happens and we'll put that together, right? Like here's a ride. Our storyline is essentially bust a bus or bust a camp or whatever, right? So that's your storyline. Do you like plan it a little bit or is it more of just like it's just going to happen? Because we went out last year, with a group of us, but Scott, it was really, I think, inspiring watching you ride. Not only are you a fantastic rider, but watching you film as you're riding was very inspiring because you were doing things I was like, oh, that's cool. Like you just have a GoPro with a little handheld and you just whip that out and you're just like, hey, we're filming people. Hey, look at this. I was like, why wouldn't I think of that? That's phenomenal.
Because
You
it's
know,
super
and then-
dangerous.
Tomato, right? But
Hello,
no, there's
David.
just you're doing all that stuff, and I was just like, oh my god, that is freaking rad. You know?
For the betterment or the detriment of the channel or whatever it is, I shoot very passively for the most part. I don't like to interrupt a ride and tell everyone stop. We got to go back and do it again. The only time I launch a drone typically is a logical place where everyone wants to take a break. When I'm riding along, I'm just filming stuff. There's one thing I'm super proud of. It's my ability to keep my head on target and still ride looking at the corner of my eyes. And then, yeah, that technique for trying to get a different shot with the hand bomb in it. I had to do it once because something broke.
Well, I feel also Greg Samborski from Chain Driven.
Yeah, Greg does
He's
it
got
as well.
one of those Django mounts or whatever they call it, and he like just grabs it off his helmet and he like, oh yeah, we're filming, and then he just clamps it back on. So he does that.
Yeah, and we love Greg. He's been the most awesome contributor on our channel of bringing really cool footage and just being nice enough to share it with us. But yeah, he uses that style as well. I think I was already doing it, so I didn't rip off that, but he does it all with one camera, and I decided I carry a backup camera, another camera, and I was doing something and the camera died and I needed a camera real quick. So I just grabbed the hand bomber, which I usually use for doing interview type stuff. And I just started shooting with it. And I go, well, that's kind of cool. I can put it way down here and then way over here. And then as I come riding up beside you, I can like get it like right up next to you. And it created very dynamic shots. And I still do it from time to time just because it's a quick way to get a shot facing backwards without having a camera on. But everyone says, why don't you just go 360? Because then you can get whatever you want. And I just can't.
It's a different look.
I just can't stand the idea of the data monster those things are. And you know, how many hard drives I'd fill up with if I just switched over to one of those things. So
Right. Well, I do think there's a different look
For sure.
with some of the 360 cameras too. So I like the dynamic look of what you're calling the hand bomber. I love the name. So Stephanie, when he's doing that and you're riding behind him, what is going through your head? You're like,
Well, it totally depends the terrain, but sometimes it's like, get your hand back on the handlebar.
right? You're like, please don't
Sometimes
go
it's really
down.
funny because you'll go from like, you go, oh my God, obstacle, it's going to kill me. You just quickly slam the whole thing on the handlebars and you go like this. And then you go, oh. And then when I'm doing it in post, I look at the edit and I go, what the hell happened there? Oh, right. I almost crashed. Yeah, it was good. So that's the answer to that question.
Rad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's totally dependent on terrain. I mean, if we're on the highway or whatever, like it's totally cool. But if it's like bumpy stuff, I'm like, and kudos and props that he's able to do it. And I don't think you have yet to crash hand bombing it. So like, I'm often like, I have no idea how he's riding through this and holding the camera out here and not crashing. Like,
that is
I agree. Matt's right. I mean, I'd like to have like more cameras to do more. My learning curve is so slow because I'm not a techie guy at all. So we've tried to use the 360 footage gifted to us by someone once, and it was just brutal to figure out. So, I mean, once I figure it out, and if I had all the money in the world to just keep buying extra equipment and cameras, that would be great. We'll see how it goes. Our friends, What's Up Beaches, she primarily uses that style of camera and gets some really cool footage that I would miss. So
I did a video. Critter sent me some 360 stuff a year and a half ago or something, and I tried to get into it and tried, like, we just essentially, I tried to follow the motorcycles when we did a drive-by, and I was like, yeah, I don't know about this, but I'm sure if I got more comfortable with it, it would be just fine. So solo travel, with all the off-road riding you guys do, what would be the one thing you would always make sure you had on you? Tools, equipment, comms, etc.
Well, we always have comms. If we're close to town and one of us can race back to get tools if needed, we don't panic about it. If you're, you have to have everything you need to change a flat tire. That bottom line, there's some stuff you just can't predict, and you wouldn't be able to have parts to fix it. A charging system failure, or an ECU going pop, fuel pumps. I mean, if you're really mechanically inclined and you know your bike's deficiencies, absolutely. You're on like a really long trip going all the way to Argentina, and I had a KTM, I'd definitely be carrying an extra fuel pump. We took Hondas to Central America, so we didn't have any of those issues at all. But I did get 6 flats, and I did have to be very proficient at changing the tubes in the tires. So yeah, you really want to be able to have all the tools you need to re a wheel, all the tools you need to take a tire on and off, or even like the reality is in a lot of places that we're traveling, there are tire service repair places everywhere. So
along the road,
on the roadways, yeah. But if you're going to go really far off into the woods, you got to be proficient at doing tire changes. Or down here, it's prevalent to run mooses, which are foam core tires. So, yeah.
Well, we're going to throw this one. Critter, can you answer this? Because you run the same thing. Can you answer that in the comments for Mr. Jefferson there? Please and thank you. Thank you and please. Come on, Critter, meow, meow.
I think we have our Django like around the corner.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Is that what it's called, right?
That's a name brand, actually. It's just that scissor clamp that goes inside your helmet, which I'm not.
I put nothing by my chin.
Yeah, you already smoked your face with one, didn't you?
It wasn't one of those. No. And in fact, every time I was with Critter and he would get off his bike and do the exact same thing that Greg would do, just turn it around. Hey, everybody, how you doing?
Django gripper mount. And yeah, now I'm getting that. Critter was joking about a movie, to Django.
Oh, okay. Yeah. There you go. But yeah, I nothing by the chin. nothing. I did think about it for half a second, but then, you know, that whole trauma nightmare thing pops up and you're like, yeah, I don't want to go through that again. So,
Well, I used to have the
It's-
GoPro on top of my helmet, and I started hitting stuff all the time with it. And then I took inspiration from Adam Reitman, and I put it underneath my beak so it can't get clipped.
Yeah.
It's not on the front of my helmet. It's nowhere it's going to hit me. But the problem is sometimes the angle you're looking at, you can't see where you're riding because it's in your way. So,
Well,
works better his helmet than mine.
weird.
So
do you really need to see where you're going? I don't know.
it's overrated. Yeah.
Overrated. Steph, we're coming at you right now.
Okay.
So I don't know. Okay, this is just cool, and we're going to revisit this if you would like, because hey, I don't. Hey, you're turning red a little bit. What's going on right now?
What are we talking
So I don't know
You're
how
on
many
the spot.
people here have. If you don't know, I have a podcast called Pancakes. I know there's a lot of new people in here, and you
sorry,
guys
Dad.
were on the episode of Pancakes, right?
We
Did
really enjoyed that. That's
very
why
well.
we're here.
Yeah. And so one of the favorite things that I found out about you, Miss Stephanie, was your trapeze stuff. So how about you kind of give a condensed Cliff Note version for the people that don't know? And if you want the long version, you can go watch the Podcakes episode with them. But yeah, why don't you talk about that? Because I thought it was, first of all, when you started talking about it, I was like, I'm sorry, what? You what? Hold on here. And it like derailed the whole conversation because I was like thinking we're going this way, and all of a sudden it was just like, this is better. This is amazing. Right. And I absolutely love it. And so that's actually one of the things that I've heard from people who have listened to it that I personally know. They're like, dude, Steph, trapeze. I'm like, right? Crazy stuff. You know, so if you want to like just kind of talk about that a little bit, that would be
We're gonna
pretty
let Steph
awesome.
explain that whole part of it here. But just the way you mentioned your mind was blown. We had another friend of ours from home as a customer of ours. He stumbled. I don't know where he found it. It was her birthday and he wanted to wish her a birthday, and somehow he got onto her, was stalking. He found the clip and his head exploded. And so he shared it around. So it's kind of getting out there more and more. So there you go, Steph.
Is it on your
Tell 'em all
YouTube?
about it.
Yeah, it's on our channel under related content. So the short version is I went to circus school. When I was 18, I moved to France and lived in France for 5 years and attended a professional circus school for 3 of those 5 years. At which point I graduated that school and then moved to Italy and did another 2 years of schooling there, refining my craft of swinging trapeze. Yeah, so there's a video of my end of school show up on our YouTube channel, again under related content playlist. And yeah, I guess most people get their mind blown. I get my mind blown sometimes being like, I used to do that. Definitely not in shape anymore to do that kind of stuff, but I would love to get back on it again.
I think that is just absolutely, and you know what? I think I can do this here. Right. Hold, please. Trying to learn. Boom. Bazinga.
Okay, so this is
We actually have it here.
Yeah.
There we go. Look at that. I think this is pretty damn phenomenal. I think it's so cool.
It was so funny when we were doing our podcast with you and just watching you just completely come unraveled about it. It was great.
Well, 100%. 100%. I think this is just awesome because it's like, you know, you go to like Cirque du Soleil or something, you know, and you see these people doing this and you're like, oh, it's amazing. I wonder how they get into it or whatever, you know. And then it's just like, you guys were just so nonchalant about it. You're like, oh, yeah, by the way, I did this. It's pretty awesome. Yeah. Well, while this is going on, people can watch you do your thing and you can commentate on it. But hey, Dewey's here, everybody. What's up, Dewey? Dewey, you're
No net,
making your way
Critter, but
north, I
there,
believe.
Critter, there is a rope. There's no net, but I'm attached.
It's kind of cool. You see at the very end when she dismounts the trapeze and she just kind of glides back down to the ground. It's all on the safety line. So if you want to go and watch
So you're
that,
attached to a safety line right there, even though you're doing your little flippy flips. and
Yeah, so
stuff?
I have a belt on, and then there's a carabiner to a rope, and then the rope goes through a pulley, and then it's actually
Okay.
and there's like a spotter, but he's not really a spotter, and he holds the rope to keep the slack out of it, and then there's another carabiner on the rope which is attached to a bunch of bungees. So like if he were to miss and the rope goes sliding through his arms, I'd get caught by the bungee cords and not go kersplat.
It's because flat. Yeah. No, for real, you got to trust the equipment. One of the things, from mountaineering and stuff, and if Papa Cakes is still here, you could probably chime in on it. But just getting used to ropes and just knowing that rope has you and just being like, yeah, I'm not going anywhere. And also trusting the person on belay, because that's essentially what that person is doing down there with the slack. Just
Yeah.
making sure the belay is taut.
But one of the
For
girls I
sure.
went to school with, later on, after I'd already moved back to Canada, she did the same thing, but it's just a rope. There's no bar. It's called Cloud Swing, and her safety equipment failed, and she broke her hip. So
Oh,
I mean,
snap. Literally.
accidents do happen. Shit fails, but
Yeah. I think Wes has a oh, there we are. Is that AI? No, that is pretty phenomenal. I think Tall Man's a little jealous, actually.
we've actually just
I
spent the
think you would
last
look good
several months with our friends Wes and Deb down here in Baja. They just got home and they've checked in to give us the gears. They missed teasing us, I guess. So we've missed being teased.
Oh,
so
man.
it's okay.
There it is. Well, I am going to let's see. Oh, it's almost done. I'm getting a weird feedback on my end, but I don't think it's going out to everybody else. But yeah. Oh, yeah, look at you upside down and stuff. Scott, what do you think of this stuff? Watching this video of her. Oh, there she goes.
Well, I mean,
Graceful.
Steph and I have known each other for quite a while now, and I actually visited her in Italy when she was doing her training. So I was there firsthand to see a lot of it. So it's not like a surprise to me. It's like it's a joint memory. And then we actually built her a trapeze rig for the top of our other bus, and it's more just so that she could just practice poses and still do that. We still have all that gear. I just we haven't put it up in quite a long time. So.
It's on the zombie bus.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good old zombies.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. So
I'm super proud of her. I'm super and even with like what we get a lot often right now, and it's really kind of funny is we went riding just the other day and everyone compliments how amazing her riding has gotten. So
yeah.
not unlike the spotlight she got when she was swinging on the trapeze, she gets it as well out here because nobody ever turns to say, "Hey Scott, you can ride well too." So the spotlight is usually on her, and justly so, and especially with her mastery of language as well. She's definitely the star of the show. So.
Yeah, no kidding. Talking about her writing and stuff, I think I brought this up to you guys before, but the little writing we've done together, usually, well, unless you were down here, but usually, Scott, you're kind of the leader guy and somewhere in there, and I usually follow. But I've been behind Steph a couple times. I don't know why this grabs my attention or whatever about her style. And Steph, your style. There is something about the way you're body positioning is in corners, and it's more like I'm always like, look at her back. You know, I can't describe it, but it is a complete. It's just unique. I can't even like everybody's like, what are you talking about, idiot? And yeah, pretty much. But there's very something specific about the way that your posture is in a corner that you're like, I don't think you're leaning as far. Maybe you're like leaning and then like staying straight up or something. I don't know. Very unique. Next time I ride with you, I will film it and point it out, and I'll do like a PowerPoint presentation, you know, with all the arrows and stuff. And then Scott could be like, dude, you're an idiot. That's how you're supposed to ride. Like,
Oh, we don't.
Thank
We
you.
just wing it. I don't know if we're.
I mean, I don't know because I don't see myself from behind, so I couldn't really tell you what you.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I just follow you, and I'm like, that's unique. Wicked riding and photography skills. I thought skills was actually Skillz. That's how the cool kids say it, I guess. I don't know.
It's
They
Zed.
they misspell it. That makes it cool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Thanks,
for
Critter.
real. Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's bring that up, Mr. Smallman. Yes. Now, yeah, there you go. Thank you. There is going to be an after a party tonight after this little shindig here. We're going to crank this down about 8 o'clock. We're going to take a quick pee break, about 5 minutes, 3 minutes, or whatever it's going to be. And then, unfortunately, if you are a Motorcycles and Pancakes channel member, I cannot message you directly. That's kind of a crappy part about YouTube kind of making some changes. But if you are a Patreon, a paid Patreon member, you go over there. And in fact, in about 6 minutes, I have the link scheduled to drop on Patreon. So you can go ahead and go to your to Motorcycles Pancakes Patreon, go to the latest post there, and the link is there, and you can just click that, and we will be in our own little private room, and we'll just have another 30 45 hour, however long it goes, but we'll hang out a little bit, be a little bit more intimate, a little more conversation, you know, just something special for the Patreons. So yes, thank you for reminding me there, Mr. Smallman. I do appreciate you. But yeah, that's pretty good. Hey Damon, how you doing, man? That is up.
That's actually a funny
Yeah,
story. The gentleman in the camp next door, who's Argentinian, he saw the exact same clip and realized he up to that point, because we had hung out with him for an entire day, and he had no idea that Stephanie was completely fluent or pretty much fluent. And he goes, "I saw your video. We're talking in Spanish from now on." I don't, because his English is a bit stressed. It looks like he's good, but at the same time, when someone isn't completely comfortable using a language, you can always tell that they'd rather not have to try and force the English. And he's like stoked. He goes, "Wow." And I put that in the video specifically for that purpose. Really, it's just to showcase how fluid she is now. It's really quite cool.
Oh, absolutely. How many days are you still doing your day counter? Like how many days you've been studying on this, or have you just like forgot about it because you've gotten pretty good?
Well, so I practice on Duolingo every day, and it's got a day counter.
Yeah. So what are you up to then? A lot?
A lot.
She'll give you the exact count in a second.
Absolutely. That's good.
Today was day 1,191.
Wow. That's fantastic. What dedication, you know, and self-discipline to actually do something like
It's
that.
like 2 or 3 times a day. No,
Usually two times.
2 times a day.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And so she can order your tacos.
He can order his own tacos, actually.
But tacos aren't hard. But what it's been really neat is meeting a lot of Mexican travelers on motorcycles. We met some really cool dudes at Sanispac, and one was actually
from Panama.
Yeah, he was Panamanian. His English was excellent, but she got to interact with all the guys there, and they're all like, "Oh, cool, pretty girl. She speaks Spanish, great." And it
was cool because we rode like near where they came from on our way down to Panama. So we were talking about different places and stuff that we rode to and where they go riding and all that kind of stuff. So that was really cool.
This is a pretty good comment right here. You saved many times, especially at the military checkpoints. Is there a little story there? Or are you just like, nah, we got it?
No, not really. What happens? They come on the bus.
So there's these checkpoints in Baja mainly, I think,
Yeah.
and they're run by the military, and they're always in the same place, and they just stop every vehicle and search and do whatever they want, essentially. And
Sure.
when we were caravanning, we were always leading, so it was very helpful, and I would just let the guards know. It's kind of it's a catch-22, because I actually at the checkpoints prefer not to speak Spanish, because I realized that when they find out you can speak Spanish, then they keep you longer because they realize they can communicate with you, and then they just ask you all sorts of questions, which is like fine, they're just curious and want to know, but it just takes a lot longer. So I try now to like minimize the amount of Spanish. I let them know that I can speak, and then I just let them know that the rest of the RVs behind were traveling with us, and thus they would be able to just sometimes just drive right through and be like, oh, okay, you're good, you know. But I mean, it's funny because the first thing they always ask is, do the dogs bite? That's like their main concern when you open the door and the dogs are like, "Arr!" And I'm like, oh no, they're nice, you know. So they talk to me in Spanish, but then I try and reply in English, which obviously means I'm understanding what they're saying in Spanish, but it's just funny.
No fumar español. Yeah. No smoking.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So that's a perfect segue talking about the doggies. So you guys have a pretty wonderful thing when you guys go down there. It seems like you guys go down, you find some dogs that need forever homes, and you find those people. And I know last year when you stopped by on your way north, you had Brandy plus two. Yeah, one of them pooped on my carpet.
Actually, that was
no, I think yeah, it was. We had too many cervezas that night. But I think that is a very phenomenal and admirable and wonderful and beautiful thing that you guys do. I think it's just helping animals like that. Some people just overlook, but I think it is such a as a dog person, you know, I love dogs, and knowing that people are down there going to, it's not like a different part of the world, but it's a different part of the world than we all live, right? So going down and finding the dogs and rescuing the dogs, I think that's awesome, you know. So tell us a little bit about your dog escapades this time down.
I think we're both really just soft-hearted, and just, you know, how can you not love a dog? I'm really suspect to people who don't. You know, that's a different story.
This year's been a lot different than the past 2 years. In the means that, like, previously we've gone to the dog rescue, we've met some dogs, we've put it out to the world, hey, anyone want a dog? They look at the dogs available through the website and say, hey, check out this dog for us. And then we grab the dog pretty much the same day that we're leaving Mexico. And then we take it back to Canada and it has a home. This year, when we got here in camp, there were 2 stray dogs, and we didn't attract them to camp. They were already here. But essentially a brother and a sister, or what we understand to be a brother and sister. We're like 99% sure. And obviously they were both unfixed. Mm-hmm. And the female, I was like, well, she needs to get fixed ASAP. Yeah. Because either she's going to get knocked up by her brother, or the neighbor dog next door, who we call Duke, or Big Balls, because he has a big set of cojones, is going to knock her up. So then I got in touch with, they do SNP clinics here, so spay and neuter clinics once a month. So I got in touch with some people and was like, hey, there's this female dog, and the clinic was technically full, but they made an exception and let us sneak her in.
I mean, this is our third winter down in Mexico. Each time it's gotten a little bit longer. The community around San Felipe has a really tight dog rescue family. We've kind of blipped onto their radar because they've seen us enough times now that they consider us part of the dog rescue community. Although we don't do many dogs, just a few. Although we are officially up to dog number 10.
Nice.
And so, yeah, these two dogs, we just want to make sure that, I mean, the biggest thing in Mexico is the culture. The dogs, they don't fix, typically, they're just starting to learn that it's important to get the dogs fixed because the dog population is just, it's explosive. And there's still so many dogs running around, strays, puppies being found all the time, which leads into kind of how we ended up with our last dog. We found him on the beach in Loretto, and you know, if he shook, he fell over. If you blew on him, like he was definitely gone. Let me see if I can get him to come over.
Go get him.
We'll go grab this little guy here. He was like 3 days from death, and Wes and I just looked at him, took pity on him, and said, "Well, if we don't intervene, he's dead." So we said we'll go halvers on rescuing him and finding him a home. And Wes has done a killer job. They found him a home, and he's going to go home to Langley. But yeah, we've had him for about a month now. And
He was just sleeping, so he's a little dozy.
and he's made a really amazing recovery. Haven't you?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
He's turned into a full-on puppy now.
Hey, Road Reality. What's up, brother?
Yeah.
That is rad. So, in a perfect world, how many dogs would you guys like to take home with you?
What do you mean?
Like fill the bus?
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. Just try walking 4 dogs. He meant to try to walk 12 dogs. So it could be like a full-time job. We would take a month to get home. It's a lot of stuff to clean up. Yeah, I think we might have room for one more on the way home.
Okay.
4 seems to be a functional thing. So if there's someone who's desperate for rescuing a dog, we could probably bring one more home.
I mean, if we had demand, we'd probably make it work, you know?
There you go. You've heard it from her.
I mean, we did the first year we did 4 dogs and none of them had any training whatsoever, including Brindy. So now we've got
none of them had been in a car, none of them had been on a leash, none of them had been like we literally picked them up and drove them home. And it was just a total, well, I won't say a storm, but it was pretty nuts. We've had Roxy now for almost 4 months. We've had him for more than a month. They're almost like domesticated pet. Like they listen, they come, they call, they give you all the cues, they hold their bladders, they don't make messes. He's crate trained, like he crate trained him. Something weird about Mexican dogs, they seem to be able to crate train themselves like overnight, and they don't ever want to make a mess in the bus, like unless they're sick. And yes, Wes, I don't know, what do you miss, Wes?
You miss Wes?
Who?
Yeah.
Who he said? Anyway, he's gonna be a hard one to pass over. He's I called him Bandit, as in heart stealer. So we can buy a brothel and drop him off.
Yeah.
But it's like every single day we're seeing people like, hey, want a dog? Want a dog? Want a dog? Oh, look, there's puppies together. And we're like, oh, you got to be kidding me.
Right.
Like, oh, geez. Oh, no. Just stop. Don't, please. And the difference with him is if we hadn't intervened, he would definitely have died. So, and that's the first time we've ever done that. Normally it's, we just, rehome, like we take a healthy dog and we give him to somebody. This was a different case. We actually saved his life. So.
Yeah. I think too, when you guys bring them up, to the forever homes, I was really impressed too, because we went out for a ride around here, and granted, I had the AT-AT was like pissed off that day and would not start, and the battery was just shot.
It wasn't an ideal day, but we were really happy to be with you. So
yeah, same. And we ended up going out on a ride anyways. And what I really liked, what Steph was like, 4 hours. That's it. You know, we got to be back. We went and got pancakes and down at the Redland Cafe. We ran around Goat Mountain a little bit. And then she was like, you guys want to go to the towers? And you're like, I got to get them dogs back. They've been in the bus for too long. So it'll be about 4 hours. I think that's great because it would have been easy just to be out there. Oh, hell yeah, we're playing. Let's go. You know, but the fact of the responsibility and like, no, we have to take care of these dogs to go back. I thought was really cool. Absolutely.
Well, I mean, we had an opportunity to go riding today with some really cool dudes on probably an epic all-day adventure. And we like, can't do it. Got to walk dogs 3 times. So,
Well, that,
Yeah.
and I think it was, yeah, I don't know. It's a bit of a tough ride. I'm not sure we were ready for that yet.
Well, okay. There is always that part of it for
Yeah.
sure. So, well,
We-
what? Go ahead, Scott.
well, we still have a month here. We kind of want to get out of here without, you know, running off a cliff or anything like that. So, got big
there's-
plans, huge plans this summer.
I know. What do you got coming up if you want to talk about that? Or is it a little top? Well, it's not top secret, but
No, so I think
you guys have anything cool coming up?
our first event is going to be Craig Luke from I Think We Missed a Turn is doing an event in Penticton.
We really want to support that and go and hang out and ride again in places we don't normally ride. So
So I think that's our first trip. Whether it will be a bus trip is to be determined.
mm-hmm.
It might be a moto camping trip, which we haven't moto camped for some time, so that could be fun.
Yeah. When we get home, we're gonna really have to figure out our bike situation. We might be shuffling the deck. That could be exciting. But we're supposed to be going to Tour Tech this year, and we don't see how that's going to happen. Not to get political or anything, but that's just a hard sell. And then we have a event we haven't been to for a year and a bit. It's called Wanduro, and it takes place in the Rocky Mountains. And Canal Flats is the location. It's put on by a gentleman that we have a great deal of respect for. He runs an app-based scavenger hunt, and it takes you to some really cool locations. We have a trailer for that from 2 years we did it before. And we're really excited to get back there and do that. And we have 2 people on the bus already. We just would like to see a few more seats get filled out for that to happen. We have a discount code for his event. Please reach out and we'll hook you up and take you there, and you'll have the time of your life. It's pretty spectacular. It'll be good preparation for those people who are prepared to go to even higher mountains.
Yeah,
Like that guy.
Those higher mountains.
And then
What-
August, I think we're going to try and do a North Island trip. And September, Get Lost.
Yep, we're looking forward to attending Mr. Critter's super special Get Lost, Find Yourself Again. And we are going to be taking a surprise guest along, as we've been given the green light to give away another ride like we did last year.
Ooh,
Pretty cool.
fantastical.
Very amazing
Uh-huh.
opportunity. The gentleman we took last year, he was so motivated and so impressed by the whole thing. He went out and got himself a donkey, and he's already been reaching out to us about going to Wanduro. So, yeah, that's really cool.
Rad.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a good
yeah,
dude.
we have a pretty good calendar going on through the summer, but the highlight, as we are alluding to, is that a mutual friend reached out to me on my birthday and suggested we should collab on taking some people to Nepal. And he does a moto enduro tour of Nepal, and all the proceeds go to a really amazing foundation that helps orphans and street kids in Nepal. And it's called the
Himalayan Life Adventure.
Project.
Yep.
And so, yeah, we
That's
have
awesome.
total of 10 spots on that trip. We have already pretty much got commitment for half of them. And it's going to be 2 weeks of the most epic riding over the most epic landscapes. And I'm going to poop myself. I hate to say it. because they were going to ride across the highest, longest suspension bridge in all of Nepal. It's 1 kilometer long, and I think it's 700 or 800 feet up. And I've seen videos of it, and I'm afraid of heights. So it will be a huge, tremendous thing if I get across that without having a heart attack. But anyway,
I will hold your hand if you need it, or I'll go first, and I'll just be like, come on.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
So a little bit of a slip on his part. We're super proud that we're going to be bringing this amazing human with us. So
who's what?
Well, he's going to bring pancakes to Nepal, although they may have them there. I'm not sure.
Hey, we're gonna do whatever. If they got Nepalese, is that the proper term? If they have those pancakes, then I will rate them. If not, I will bring them. It is all good.
We can ask the tour guide ahead of time if they have pancakes.
But yeah, the tour is going to include. We're going to be doing the Mustang Valley, and a bunch of other really, really spectacular locations on this custom tour. Yeah, if you're interested at all in having the ride of your lifetime, like I always laugh when people say, "Oh, you went to Panama, like the ride of a lifetime." I go, no, there's lots of riding to be done, and that's not the biggest one we're going to do, but quite truthfully, this is top tier stuff. Like for me, even I'm going to go, I don't think I'm going to be able to top this, but I'm going to try. And yeah, so I know there's somebody out here watching right now that we're going to see very shortly in Mexico. And with tequila, margaritas, and tacos, we're going to bribe his ass into committing to coming with us. Matt Kelly.
Let's go.
So if you don't want that to happen, you're going to have to just change your plans and not come down here, because that's good. I got a whole gang of thugs there, and if you say no, it's going to be pillowcases with bananas in it. Yeah, anyway.
No, he says let's go. That's pretty.
He's in.
Yeah. Let's go. You were saying, we were kind of talking about it a little bit, but you're like, this is like the opportunity of a lifetime, those who would want to go and those who will be like, when we get back and they're like, I should have went.
Well, I mean,
and
on a sad note, and I've been on a bit of a tear the last little while. It's like we work really hard in the summer to get the time to, but taking time off and doing what you want to do and enjoying your life and having these experiences has become paramount for me, because I'm watching people that I care deeply about leaving this place without fulfilling, I've had a lot of people pass away recently, and I had another one just this week who a dear 35 years long, close personal friend of mine, he was a year younger than I am, and he just passed away, like, due to a medical thing. And I'm like, it broke my heart. And I'm going, like, waiting. What are we waiting for? Like, it's like, oh, I'll do it next year. Well, next year might not fucking happen. So I'm like, I've personally decided that in the next 24 months, I'm going to do the 2 top bucket list items in my life that I think I want to do these things. They're getting done. And as soon as they're in the rearview mirror, then maybe I'll go back to work. But like, you got to do these things.
Well, that goes back to our conversation that you and I were having, the three of us, like 2 or 3 weeks ago. You were talking about the bucket list and how people have this bucket list and they have it like 1 through whatever, right? So let's just say 1 through 10. Number 1 is like your ultimate bucket list, but people chip off the bottom stuff that's easy, and they never get that upper level, that upper echelon of like what they really want to do. And this is the greatest thing is, like, as everybody knows, Papa Cakes and I are pretty damn close, and not only is he my dad, right, but he's also like the greatest dude and man that I've ever known, right? And so he has like a lot of wisdom that he'll just start chatting with you and you're like, wait, what? Okay. You're like, you take these little nuggets of knowledge in. And I brought this trip up to him and I was like, I'm gonna go, and he's like, usually there's a little bit of like, well, there's the financial commitment and blah blah blah, right? That part of the conversation. But Mr. Mountain went, yeah, I think you need to go. I think you should go. Chance of a lifetime. I was like,
Nice.
Well,
I mean,
the cool thing
yeah.
is we're gonna be working with a really great tour guide. I mean, he's very passionate. He's a local. He's grown up there. He gives back a lot to the community and stuff like that. But when I was just getting to know him and talk with him and stuff like that, he's me, only he's from Nepal. And he just wants people to come experience that. And I'm really stoked to be supporting what they do. And to, like I say, get those things out of the way. And I think the reason we leave the biggest, the top, our number one stays on the list the longest is because it seems daunting. And it maybe there is more expense involved in it, or, if someone says, oh, I want to ride around the world, but that takes a big time commitment. And that's on my bucket list too. But I've decided it can happen a bit at a time. Someone's asking what kind of bikes we're going to be using in Nepal. Well,
Hi, Summer. And
hey,
Kevin.
hey, you
this
can
is
blame
actually a mountain bike trip.
Summer can blame her sister for this one because she's fully responsible for me getting in on this Nepal tour. Anyway, the bikes are basically WR250 clones. They're Chinese product, but they are actually really high tier. Really good quality bike. I've done a lot of homework and investigation into them, and he's been riding them quite regularly. And a lot of other moto enthusiasts have used them with great success. So they're called a
Freedom.
No, I forget. Just gapping. Too much stuff going on here right now.
But a 250 adventure.
Yeah, they're called a Crossfire. And they look exactly like a WR250 in every way. So they look really good for what we're going to be using them for. So
Right.
Yeah.
I'm stoked, man. And I don't know.
So
and
it's like
sometimes, man,
you don't have to carry all your junk. There's going to be a chase truck that beats us to the hotel every day. If you want to bring a spouse and then you can ride in the truck, that works too. There's a different rate for that. It's going to be like this really super scenic. And there's lots of footage. We have a trailer for it on our channel. There's going to be, if you're interested, there's a link to some of the videos that have been produced about them doing it. And we're really, really excited to do this trip. So.
Yeah, Steph, you did a good job on that page too. I remember you shared it with me and we're talking about it. You have this document shared and she's like updating it and I'm looking at my screen. It's just going, boop, boop, keeps updating. I'm like, oh, she's working on it. It was pretty cool. But yeah, I am really excited. And, we're in a group chat with some of these people and it looks like there's a couple days and some other places that we might be going to and hanging out and experiencing, different cultures and stuff.
It's a pretty diverse
pretty
trip. We're going to
excited.
see like 3 distinctly different regions in Nepal. So.
Right. Yeah. Oh, so good. So good. So we've been chatting with you guys and we really got off the first conversation about how to get ready for moto camping, but that's quite all right. Is that Brenda you got over there, Steph?
No, it's Boots. Boots is our Mexican dog that stays down here. I'm not sure I can grab her and let you see her. But
she's still a full wild stray. Who every time we come to town, she just shacks up with us and hangs out with us and walks on the beach every day with us. We've known her for about 4 years, but we still can't pick her up. We're just really happy she lets us pet her now. But she went to town with us today. Well, I got my haircut.
Oh, that's right. She's like, Scott's got to get a haircut. We get a little afro-y.
Here, Boots.
He had a bit of long hair. I'll see if I can find a picture of her. I don't know if I have any recent pictures of her.
We just man,
I just got my haircut a couple days ago and it was horrible. I took my hat off and it just went. Oh boy, that's worse than my back hair. Oh yeah. Good stuff.
There you go. Steph's going to share a picture of her boots.
That's Boots.
Oh, hi.
You've probably seen her in our videos, but
Yeah.
she's hanging out on the bus again.
Hanging out.
You'll lie on the
Freaking
floor.
rad sauce.
Bring all the animals up here.
Right.
It'll be a real circus.
Want
Yes,
to
Matt.
surprise this
she's
guy?
doing quite
Hey,
well.
Corey, how you doing? What's she making in the background there? I saw her getting in the microwave.
Ice cream. She's getting some ice cream.
That's sounds delicious. All right then, we'll be right back.
Latin American haircut. I can only imagine.
Do what with your haircut?
Well, apparently, someone's saying you should try a Latin American haircut.
I'm not sure what that is. Oh, Dewey's saying it right there. You need a Latin American haircut. They take it serious. It's a real process. I think I'm going to need more information on that because
Well, I think the process is that they do the razor blade and it's like super detailed.
yeah, I'm not really.
'Cause I've
I
had
do
one
a
in
hard part. Does
most
that count?
countries in Central America.
Yeah, I do a hard part where they shave my part in. I do that, but yeah, it's all good. Oh yeah. Oh, we're
Trying to coerce our
again. We're
dog
kind of
come up here.
we're kind of winding it down. I think over on the Patreon page, friends, if you're looking to hang out a little bit more this evening, I'm trying to make sure that post actually went up. But we're
That
going to do the
post did go
Pancake
out.
Speakeasy after this.
Yep.
It
The
did.
Speakeasy post did go out. Yep. But
Yep,
if
okay,
you're
good.
not a member, you can go back. So if you go in, if you're a paid Patreon on Ian's Motorcycle and Pancakes page, you can go back and you can read the posts and find the link there.
Yeah, it'll be the if you go in and if you decide like, hey, I just want to do the $2.99 a month or whatever, you can go in there and then the first post will actually have the link in there. It actually says the link to the Pancake Speakeasy for your members only after party. So yeah, buddy. There you
Well,
go.
this sure
Thanks,
went
Corey. I
fast.
appreciate that.
Holy cow.
What meow? Okay. Having fun with the artwork and stuff too. So it's kind of nice being cheesy. So, but yeah, lots of perks going on to the old Patreon over there, depending, especially on the tiers. We have different tier levels now, which is pretty rad. Okay, back over here. Hey, Corey, how you doing, man? Yes. So, Scott, when you're taking off in about a month, and you're going to start rolling northbound. So, do you have kind of a routing plan heading back home, or is it just
we're not 100% sure on what's going to happen? It depends on two things. One, whether we go to Arizona. Two, where our meetup with What's Up Beaches ends up being. And then we're definitely going to be in your neighborhood. So, because I have deliveries to make on my way home of some really cool jerseys we had made for a few characters. We're going to be hand delivering those on our way home. So
fantastic. Well, as usual, yeah, just let me know when you're coming through. You got the spare room down right there, so be good.
Sweet.
Always welcome.
We're usually mooching 40 feet of driveway, but rooms are good too.
Well, he's not here, so I could say just park at Sean's house again. That's fine. You know, it's all good.
I'm sure he doesn't.
Oh man, looping through Arizona would be pretty rad. There's some great stuff to see out that way for sure. You know,
yeah,
if you're going to Bisbee to go check out.
Yeah, we might go volunteer at the event.
Oh wow, that would be cool.
We're waiting to hear back.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's a little out of the way, but not so much. And if you guys are going kind of northwest bound, there's this big hole in the ground called the Grand Canyon. You got to stop by there.
We did that on our way back from Panama.
Oh, did you?
Yep.
Yeah, because we came up through Arizona. Yep.
Yeah, we crossed in Nogales and we did Tucson, and then we hung out in Phoenix with a friend, and then we went up to the Grand Canyon, and right after before that we actually went to Winslow, Arizona. It stood on the corner.
Yeah. Isn't that wild?
It's a little funky.
Pretty cool stuff there. Yeah, absolutely. So, do you guys want to join us in the after party?
Sure.
A little speakeasy.
I'll get the wristband.
I'll send you the link. Yeah, I'll actually send you a different link than that link, and that the link of the link, the link that I send you will not be the link that everybody else links up to, because the different link that I send the link to for you for the link will actually be for the link for
Pat's already
this.
on to me about stopping in Moab.
Oh, dude, 100% got to stop in Moab's.
Somewhere along the way there for sure. So we could,
that would be phenomenal.
We could synchronize something there, I think.
Dude, Moab is some of the funnest riding ever, for sure.
Yeah, I think I'll need a J-tow rocket for the back of the DRZ to make it go anywhere, let alone across the Grand Canyon. Yeah.
Right. A little bit of a tank. So, all right, everybody, we are going to go ahead and end this live stream right here. We're going to head over to the Speakeasy in about 5 minutes. So we will see all of you there. Give or take.
Thanks for coming by, all of our friends who showed up.
Yeah, I saw a lot of new people over here. I really appreciate you guys stopping in and hanging out with our friends. Welcome to the Moto family. Again, real quick, our monthly schedule. So the first Friday is myself, Motorcycles and Pancakes at 6:30. The second Thursday is Tall Man Moto at 6. He does things a little bit different. So he's second Thursday at 6. The third Friday of the month is the Critter Moto Show. I don't know if that's what it's called, but I call it the Critter Moto Show. So that is his live the third Friday. And then the very unique fourth Friday of the month at 6:30 is, well, I butcher
meals. Moto Camp meals with
Moto Camp meals with my ADP 360. Bam. And so Motorcycles and Pancakes on the Motorcycles and Pancakes YouTube channel, and then go to Tall Man YouTube channel, and he also does it on Instagram. The Critter Moto Show on the Critter Moto YouTube channel, and then my ADV 360 on the my ADV 360 YouTube channel. Oh, that was a lot. I hope everybody got it. I will do, I don't know, there's usually a card, but again, I was so discombobulated coming into tonight, so it is what it is. So I appreciate everybody showing up. Thank you. Oh, my sister's here. Hey, I love you too there. I will see everybody at the Speakeasy, and I'll send you the link, and you're coming in too, right, Corey? You're going to moderate that as well, and we'll see everybody there. And if you're not going to be there, again, thank you for stopping by. Eat more pancakes. Okay, bye.